Hi everyone, welcome to this episode of Coffee and Tea. Today you will learn everything you need to know about thin client-based architectures. My name is Deborah and I'll be your host today. And I'm joined with Bart Newbrook, Product Manager here at Rock Automation. Hi Bart, welcome.
Hi Deborah, thanks for having me here.
Bart, before we begin, can we maybe tell our audience here what are the main differences between a thick client-based and a thin client-based architecture?
Okay, well both are client-server-based architectures. Where in thick client-based architectures, the content is basically accessed, the server content is accessed via a thick client, a device, a computer based on a full-blown operating system with client software installed. You have then on the other hand the thin client-based architecture where again the devices, the thin clients are going to be used to access server content, but those thin clients are basically devices that do not contain any operating system or a client software.
Right. And what are the main challenges that the customers face when they're using thick client architectures?
What they typically tell us when they ask us for a consultancy is that it takes a lot of time and energy to basically deploy, maintain and secure those thick clients. And as an example, they give the fact that they have to configure one computer, install the software, create the shortcuts on the desktop or the auto-run files, and then do that not only for one computer, but basically for the full install base in a plant.
Right. I remember having all those shortcuts on my own computer desktop. So I can't imagine when you have to do it for hundreds of computers on the company level. But, you know, today's trend is all about mobile devices, right? So how do thin clients fit into those trends?
Well, thin clients are basically only one part of the equation. You actually need a thin client management software. And our thin client management software addresses as well the thin clients as the mobile devices. And as such, you can concentrate purely on delivering content to a user, irrespectively of the user device. That helps, for example, when outsourced workers need to be given a tool to access server content now.
Right. Speaking about outsourced workers and maybe seasonality as well, wouldn't that be a risk for companies because they can access all the information in those mobile devices?
That is actually a concern that we have seen often expressed by customers. Yeah. That's why we have added to our thin client management software actually the capability of delivering the content based on the user profile, based on the location where he is, and even based on the time of day.
Right. It sounds really good, but wouldn't that require a high skill set to maintain such a solution?
Well, 2 minutes. 2 minutes is the time it takes to replace a thin client, replacing the device, swapping over the cables. That's a task that the maintenance technician can do. There is no need for IT skills. And when that's required, it can even be done remotely with the thin client management software. The times that we were taking a bike to run on the other side of the plant and to go and do all that configuration settings, that's definitely something that is now belonging to the past.
Yeah, well, yeah, I do see all the values of having thin client-based architecture and then management software, but I'm sure our audience here all have the same question. How much is it going to cost?
You're going to have to do an investment, that's for sure. But at the same time, you're going to have some savings through the life cycle. Right. Just one example, you're going to have to do with the thick client-based architecture at least after 3 to 4 years, a replacement of the operating system and the associated hardware due to operating system obsolescence. For a thin client-based architecture, that is just not existing.
Yeah, that's really good. So if I can summarize in a few words what we just say here, having a thin client-based architecture and a thin client management software, it allows you to be mobile enabled, so ready for the future. It also allows you to address some security concerns that we may have. And maintenance now becomes easier, like you said, within 2 minutes. And I think most importantly, the return on investment is quicker and higher than what we can think of, right?
Yeah, I couldn't have summarized it better, Deborah.
Thank you, Bart. So what can we tell our audience here who are watching us? Like, how can we help them if they are unsure whether to move to such a solution, or if they are unsure what are the advantages of thin management software?
Well, it's easy. They can go to our website and download a free 30-day trial to experience it themselves.
Right. Thank you very much, Bart, for your time today.
You're welcome.